Josh, I've been waiting to make a video like this to repay you for the one you made me a very long time ago. Happy retirement, old man. I want to take a second to congratulate you and remind you that we still have a lot of hikes to go on, so don't get too fat and comfortable. I want to talk to you about the perspective you've driven in me over the last 20 years, which began long before I joined you in Chicago when I was a kid, and I knew you as my very quiet, often sleepy uncle who had almost nothing to say amongst his gabbling siblings at family gatherings in Canada and Chicago. You were painfully normal and slightly shabby looking, and while the shabbiness might never change, it turns out there's certainly nothing normal about you. I remember the first of so many summers I spent with you in Chicago. I remember walking in with you to my first day at ICER, and I remember that framed pink Pennsylvania Ave arrest slip you so proudly displayed in your office. I remember being shoved in a tiny car with you on my first day at ICER between Artemio and Saul and going to protest SB 1070 outside of a Sarah Palin rally. And I remember thinking, this is what he does for a living? I remember the family that I found that summer with you, Joanna, Kia, Jesse, Grandpa, Brigitte, Julie, Steve, Leah, Corey, and most of all, I remember the first staff meeting that you held and the reference and the power that you commanded in that community, the community that you serve and that you built. And suddenly you were no longer my sleepy uncle. You were a different man than I had ever known you to be. And you changed my life forever, buddy. And if there's one story I hold dear to my heart, it was spring break of my junior year of college, and I found myself in DC visiting Abby. And you saw that I was there on Facebook or something, and you reached out. Hey, can you and Abby come meet me at the church of something or other on Saturday? And wear something preppy, like those shirts and ties that you own. Do you mean a button-down, Josh? Yeah, wear one of those. Just dress Republican. So Saturday shows up, and there we are. We're there at the church of whatever, and there are buses and buses of people pouring into this church, coming from all across the country to DC for this rally today. And we walk inside, and there you are, just welcoming, introducing us to everyone. And we were super bashful, right? This wasn't about us, and we sat in the back, and after a few hundred more people filled into the pews, you stood up in front of over 1,000 people that day and welcomed them in English and then in Spanish and then back to English, then back to Spanish. And you told them about the plan. And the plan was to march. And at the end of the march, we were all going to pile into this DC Republican leader's office and demand a conversation, demand dialogue, demand change. And suddenly you said, and the way we'll get into that office, actually, Charlie and Abby, come up here. And in front of these thousands of people, you brought us up to the front of the room and you said, the plan is we're going to take these two. They're my nephew and his girlfriend, and we're going to be the boarding party, and we're going to go there to the office and pretend to be Republicans. Don't they look Republican? They're going to get away with it. And we're going to be in that office, and then when the march arrives, Charlie and Abby and I are going to barricade the doors open so that security can't lock them. And Abby and I, this is the first we're hearing of the plan. And we look at each other. And that was just the plan now. And it ended up being what we did that day. And that was you. You were a different kind of adventure. You were a different kind of leader. And you changed my perspective forever on what it means to build community and family and power. And I learned so much from you, Josh. And I'm really excited and happy for you to retire. And I don't think you're going to be able to, change all these things that, you built about yourself and you applied to your work. I think they're going to continue to follow you in your life in a really positive way. And I look forward to the next chapter of Josh Hoyt and being there by your side for so much of it. And I love you very, very much. And so does Abby. And we want to congratulate you on your retirement and a really, really wonderful career that we were fortunate to have some small parts of. I love you, Josh Hoyt, very, very much. Thank you.